Hello, my Star Atlas family. This is I'm kind of like lost for words at the moment. I don't know what to say. I It's like huge, big, big guys. Like do or die now. So I've been away for a while, and that's why I haven't been making. That's why a video hasn't come out in like a week or so. And now I've gotten home and I have a bit of time, so I thought I would sit in front of the camera and try and release a video of what the hell just happened. So this is a special episode for Star Atlas. I want to remind people that I am an independent Web3 participant. I don't work for Star Atlas. Yes, I wear the t-shirt because I like it. It's not bad. But I'm an independent content creator. So whenever I create content, I'm always honest with you. Sometimes I make mistakes. Some people call them out. That's totally fine. I learn from my mistakes. I move on. I'm going to give you a bit of a summary on what happened and then my thoughts on that, because this is now getting to the depths of the bear market where you actually start questioning a lot of things. For example, is crypto your thing? Could you just leave, pack up and leave and try and start anew somewhere else? Oh man, I'm sure everyone else is going through this at the moment. This is the bear market. This is how it makes you feel. This is what it does. Okay? What it does. Let's get started. So, first off, I'm sure by now you know FTX is gone. FTX, SBF, Caroline, the entire company, the parent company of Alameda and FTX, as well as all the smaller subsidiaries, like 200 or something companies, they are all gone. Okay, so that's their companies. Not to mention all the other companies they are involved with. Think about it. If one bank goes under, another bank had money with that same bank, and so now they are in stress or they're going under, and then they have to sell something. Or oh man, man, this is big. So I'm just going to take my time because this is not one of those videos where I keep rambling on and on. I'm actually digesting this. Like, okay, move on. So I'm going to talk about number one, the bankruptcy, FTX bankruptcy. After that, talk about FTX being hacked after the bankruptcy. What? And then we'll look at the Star Atlas affiliation. We'll look at the Star Atlas runway, and then Star Atlas funding, and where to go from here, and some new images. Okay, so we know FTX has gone bankrupt. Where did all bloody start? It started with, SBF doing some really, when they were small, right? When they weren't even Alameda, probably. They were doing some stuff on Binance, and Binance is like, oh, who are these new guys? We're going to invest in them. So they invested in them, got a whole bunch of FTT tokens. And then fast forward to now, some back, CZ is like, yeah, we don't like the look of these guys. We're going to do some social media engineering and say, hey, we're about to dump a whole bunch, like 2 billion worth of FTT tokens. And then everyone's like, okay, that's a whole bunch of sell pressure. I'm going to go ahead and sell my tokens. And then it just starts cascading down. The problem is SBF and FTX use the FTT token as collateral. So every time it goes down, they have to go and sell something to get their collateral back. And of course, we realize tokens are worthless. Tokens are worthless. They don't give you any rights at all, right? Worthless. They're created out of thin air. There's no energy expended to create them. So of course, they're not actually worth a lot. It's all market driven, sentiment driven. Oh, I think it's worth this much, and this guy's willing to pay this much for it. So this is now a huge war between SBF and CZ. Well, right now, SBF is in prison somewhere. I think in Bahamas, he's being detained. Him and the whole group trying to flee or something like that. On the right hand side, Frank Chaparro, he tweeted, these are the major investors into FTX. And this is huge. BlackRock, the first one of the biggest financial institutions in the world, they hold billions and billions, I think actually trillions of people's money. Ontario Pension Fund, Sequoia, Paradigm, Tiger Global, SoftBank, Circle, Rabbit, Alan Howard, Multicoin, Backneck, and Temasek. These are huge financial institutions who have lost a whole bunch of money, right? A whole bunch of money. This is going to cascade for weeks, months, and months. Okay, the contagion effect of this is huge. Think about the contagion effect of UST. First it was UST, then it went to Celsius, then it went to Voyager, then it went to all the other smaller companies that like used the Celsius ecosystem. And how much time did that actually unfold over? So we're only at the beginning of this FTX unfolding. So my advice to you right now, as I said in the last video before FTX withdrew all their funds, you have any tokens on the exchange, you need to get them off now. I'm looking at you right now, get your tokens off the exchange, put it into a hardware wallet, put it into a cold storage wallet, put even into a hot wallet. As long as it's on mainnet and you control the keys, do it. Okay. After FTX announced bankruptcy, they're like, oh, we can't meet all of our obligations. We don't have enough money to sustain ourselves. We're now bankrupt. Okay, what the fuck first? Second, they get hacked. Hacked / exploited / insider job. We don't know yet, right? So far, it seems to be like there was a backdoor into the entire FTX platform, and they withdrew a whole bunch of funds, and that people are watching on this happen on chain. It was like on Up Only TV. What the hell? So even if they were bankrupt, they had some funds to try and save people or like try to disperse back to people over a prolonged period of courts and lawyers and all of this. Now that money isn't actually there anymore. It's been transferred out to different places, right? Someone has taken all the leftover funds that were there. So if you have any funds on FTX, consider them 100% gone. 100%. Not joking. You're never going to get this back now. Ever. So just write it off. That's what I've done. Was a large amount of my portfolio? It's gone. Okay. How does this affect Star Atlas? Right. The Star Atlas is heavily affiliated with Solana and FTX. Michael Wagner and the Star Atlas team came out with this publication to say, you know, what happened, how it's affected Star Atlas, and what the idea is going forward. Short story, they lost money as well. Star Atlas lost money. That is on me, and for that I am sorry, according to the team, Michael Wagner. So you can go ahead and read this. It's on their Twitter. It's on the Star Atlas Discord. And they also had an emergency town hall just to talk about this stuff, and people were not happy. For example, Dark Signal from Dark. Like, I have no words. I have no words. Let's have a look at this is the second part of it. Let's have a look at some of the things that were discussed and the major takeaways. So the major takeaway for Star Atlas is that Star Atlas has now had half of its entire runway decimated. What happened was Star Atlas used to pay its employees, and they used to load up a quarter of a year's salary on FTX, ready to be dispersed to different people. A quarter of the entire year's salary. Of course, that also means that they had, like, if you could pay people for using 12 months worth of salary, now all of that is gone. They're down to about 6 months plus. 6 to 9 months of funds for runway for the entire Star Atlas metaverse. First, they had 30 million, like as salary. Now they have 15 million to keep paying their employees. This is huge, guys. To have a startup lose half its runway is massive. And right now is not the time to be losing heaps of money in the market. You need to be conserving money in the market. Pepe, I'm not even in the mood today. I'm not in the mood today. There was an emergency town hall. I really urge you to go and listen. Go and see what they talked about. Go and listen to the questions. It's devastating, devastating. But not only because of that, not only Star Atlas losing funds right on FTX. Star Atlas is heavily affiliated with FTX, part of the image brand. It's part of Solana. I mean, look at this. Like, this is the Star Atlas T-shirt, but even on the bottom, there's FTX. There's FTX because they're in Miami together, right? So even the merchandise has FTX on it. This is a major blow to the Star Atlas brand. Huge, massive. Guys, I'm not sure they can come out of this. I'm not sure. It's not like you just pack it in right away, right? They still have runway. They have 6 months of runway to keep going. The hope is within this 6 months, they'll still be able to deliver some items or deliverables. And in that time, maybe that'll spur interest back into Star Atlas, spur investors back into Star Atlas, increase revenue by new user acquisition, and just keep going up from there. It's possible. But we are also in the deep bear, and we don't know when this is going to be years until crypto starts ticking up again, or people start caring about crypto games again. Maybe they need to shift their narrative from being a blockchain game to a game, right? So, because the runway is now halved, Star Atlas team have to go out and look for money. They have to go out and look for money. They have to secure the runway so they can keep delivering and keep getting, keep spurring the movement on and on and on. They created an investor deck. An investor deck is something you show to a whole bunch of investors. You go have a 5-minute call with them and say, "This is what we have. This is what we are. Come and give us your money because we, or this is where we think we're going." That investor deck was leaked by someone in Star Atlas, and they weren't happy. But in this investor deck, you can see a whole bunch of information, which is actually pretty valuable. Something that people were trying to ask Michael about in the town hall, but it didn't really get any solid answers. So now we actually got some answers. And I don't blame the person from leaking it, right? They're probably super upset, super upset. My question to myself is, I don't know if I should share the investor deck because it's not, I don't think it's good for the ecosystem, for the investor deck to have leaked. Good on the guy for doing it, but I don't think it should have been. If you want to see the investor deck, you know where to go and find it. Message me, I'll share it to you. I don't think I'll make a video on it at the moment because it's not clear enough. I don't know if this will be bad or good for the Star Atlas itself, but yeah. Drags wasn't happy. He's like, someone's getting fired over this. Natural. If you do have the investor deck, go to pages 12 and 13. That's where all the juicy stuff is. Okay. Now, Star Atlas are looking for funding at the moment. Even the community have got together and said, maybe we can do something for Star Atlas. So there's even a separate Discord to brainstorm funding ideas for Star Atlas. Now, I'm sure everyone knows Star Atlas. The way Star Atlas accrues money is, we buy some of their ships, which is what the community does, right? This is how we get involved in it, and then we help shape Star Atlas. On top of that, they have to go to VC investors, venture capital, people who come, have lots of money, get a whole bunch of your tokens, get some equity in the company, and then they give you money, and then you try and build something with it. The first people they've gone to is Solana, the actual Solana Foundation. Now, I don't have high hopes in this because a whole bunch of ecosystem people in Solana are going to go to Solana right now and say, hey, we also need money. We also got fucked. So Solana is very unlikely to just dole out all this money. We're like, we don't have much money, man. It's the bear market. There is a possibility that Star Atlas does get some funding from Solana because Star Atlas is like the poster child for Solana gaming. There's nothing else as big as gaming on Solana, right? Star Atlas is the biggest, best. Nothing else comes close. Let's be honest. This entire ordeal has made the community upset. Has made the community very tired. I am tired. I am slightly upset. I am not angry because I don't get angry very easily. People are very angry at Michael for this mismanagement of the company funds. A whole quarter of the year's salary, and you lost half the runway for the entire project. How? The entire half. Half. But because of this, there might be some news changes, I think. First off, you should expect a release of some new deliverables at a minimum. We're going to fast track a few things. For example, Sage is going to come out sooner than we anticipated, I hope. Because Sage is like the whole economic model. It's what kind of demonstrates that everything is functional. You know, the economic team is actually working well. Right? We can use all of our assets. You can use it as a tool to attract new members into the ecosystem, spur growth, spur lots of people trading between each other, while at Automata gets that 6%, gets that fee from the marketplace, right? They need new revenue streams. So they have to build something to give them a revenue stream because they've lost a whole bunch of money right now. So one thing that I know people are talking about in the Discord is that the land sales, even the land sales might be coming soon. Crew members might be coming a bit later. They're already built in. Sage should be coming very soon. UE5 we won't see for a long time anyway, so like I feel like they need to divert resources away from that. But the thing is, you can't be cutting all your expenses because you need to keep the talent. They've already had experience losing talent, and it was detrimental to them. They want to keep the talent, but they have to cut expenses. So what do you do? What do you do? You either have to pay them less or give them equity somehow, or you go and find money somehow. They are in a tight spot, Star Atlas is. Star Atlas. I'll give you my comments. This is like my personal opinion, right? And of course, don't listen to me. I'm a guy with a microphone who wears a Star Atlas t-shirt. My comment is that this team is still there. They're still building. They've realized their mistakes, and they're still going. Massive mistakes, mistakes, but they're still delivering. And when I say delivering, like you'll see some of the pictures next, and we'll make up our minds. They're still delivering. They're still building something. My second point: token prices are going to shit. They are going to shit. Why do I say that? First thing, we are in the deep bear. Everything's going to shit. Second, no one cares about Star Atlas right now. No one cares about Star Atlas. Everyone only cares about their own bags, their own Ethereum, their own Solana, their own other protocol. No one in the entire crypto ecosystem is actually talking about Solana at the moment. Talking about Star Atlas. Thirdly, FTX and Alameda had a huge chunk of Polus tokens and Atlas tokens, if I'm sure. What are they going to do with those tokens? They're bankrupt, got hacked. Even if the hacker has the funds, they're going to sell it. They're bankrupt. I think they have to lock the Polus tokens for like it's bankrupt for as long as the amount the bankruptcy goes on for, right? But we might not see those tokens for a while. Star Atlas, the team themselves, have Polus tokens. They might have to sell this on the market to get some revenue. Not great, but how can you blame them? Token prices just look shit. My third point is the deliverables are going to come a lot quicker. Sage will come quicker. We'll see some other items come quicker so that we can actually play the game, because they need evidence to say that we can play the game. They need the evidence. Okay? If they don't have it, they won't be able to raise. They won't raise, they're dead. And my last opinion, UE5 is like not urgent right now. We already know it's 5 years away. We don't even have to. We won't get massive gameplay out of it. Yes, like R1 is coming very soon. R1, R2. Oh, sorry, R1 we've already had. R2 is coming very soon. Where we might get some gameplay. We might get some racing. We might get some multiplayer. But that's not a lot of revenue generating content, right? It's good for us to make videos about and bring more people on somehow, but it's not enough to give them money, right? It's not enough. The UE5, I think, needs to take a little bit of a step back, build Sage, but even they said that they have specific teams of talent for Sage and then for UE5. The people working on UE5 can't work on Sage. People working on Sage can't work on UE5, right? So you can't even increase the productivity of one or the other. Right now, productivity is probably going down because they have to cut their salaries. Work from 5 days to 3 days. One small thing about the land, someone shared this. Wagner was like, yeah, it's quite easy for them to actually accelerate land, because land sales is another way for the team to raise money, right? Going to sell land in like a central Oni space station or a central mud station in the showroom somewhere. He's been holding back for land because of utility. You don't have utility for the land, people won't buy it. Very simple. There are so many things in Star Atlas already that people don't know what it's going to be used for. So right now, I think people won't buy the land if it comes out. There's no utility. We've done the PFP thing before, done land sales before in other games, other projects. They're like, oh, we're selling a plot of land. What do you actually do with it? Oh, we're working on it. Michael Wagner said this, that crew members are already coming early next year, but we could easily couple land and crew as a new asset category. But this, to me, says that they're still working. They're still going, right? They're thinking of lots of different stuff that they can do. That being said, I want to share some images that have been shared. Now, I don't know if these images were strategically released so that we as a community get more excited and lift up off this depression. I don't know. I'm very skeptical. I don't trust anyone, right? I don't trust anyone. I've been in crypto for like since 2017. I don't trust anyone anymore. Self-custody. Don't believe what anyone says until you can prove it on chain. But they have given us some pictures, so let's take a look at some of the pictures, shall we? I think these pictures were the Oni Central Space Station. We know that the showroom is part of the MUD Central Space Station. This is the Oni Central Space Station. And this is what some of the lands I think will be coming and looking like. This is kind of like a Fotali, I don't know, a house or some kind of landing pad possibly. Or I don't actually know. If you know what these are, just let me know in the comments. But they do look cool. I'm still a big fan of the Oni of the Fotali architecture and Fotali lights and the aesthetic it gives you. I don't know if there are different tiers in each of them, because one looks way smaller than the other one. Just looks like different forms of it. Now, there was a video released. I wasn't sure if I should share this because they said don't share this because of the soundtrack, because it's got sound behind it and it's Blade Runner sound. So I just turned off the sound, and I shouldn't get any YouTube copyright. So this is them looking around in the Oni space station, Oni Central Space Station. Once again, I think very strategically released. Just like how the flight module was strategically released before the Michael Wagner and Kieran Warwick interview. Strategically released. So far, it just looks like they've done a bunch of work with uh, uh, how should I say, the levels and the layering of things. Not many textures are in. I'm sure the trees will change because they look like human trees. They should be way alien trees. This is, remember, the Oni space station, right? It should be alien. It shouldn't look human at all. That was the video. If you want, you can go and find it online. I won't link it anymore because I might get in trouble. My question is, does this make you happy? Happy. So we're done. Like, we're not done. We're close to being done. And this is a shame because I really like Star Atlas. I think there is a small possibility that they may get out of this. With 6 months runway, they buckle down and spend a lot of their time on building. That's what a startup is. Hustle, hustle, hustle. You slowly get out of the grind until you're a revenue generating company, and then you keep going from there. Pictures that are good. It tells me the team is working, but it's like sullied. I'll tell you about my journey, and I'll keep this short. My content will continue. I will continue to cover Star Atlas because I still like the game. I like the vision. We're not over yet. We can keep going, right? I personally have lost a large percentage of my portfolio. A large percentage. And I don't know how many more I can keep going because every time I keep thinking, yes, it's okay, you get done. You get done. First, I lost a whole bunch in UST. That was like my stablecoin holdings, right? That was my safeguard. And then I lost a whole bunch in Celsius, where I had my second safeguard to be like, okay, these funds at least are in a safer place. It's not a protocol; it's a centralized place, and I'm earning interest, and I can withdraw easily. That didn't go well, didn't it? And then there's Solana. Solana, I'm big on Solana myself, but this is a massive blow to Solana. Solana had the backing of FTX, which is what made it super popular. Remember when SBF first tweeted, like, give me all your Solana at $3 and then go fuck off? You remember that? That made Solana shoot all the way up. Now, that means we're going back to $3 Solana. Solana's like $18 now. All-time high of $200, right? So I've lost a whole bunch in Solana already. And now, will I be losing a whole bunch in Star Atlas? It's early to say if I've lost a whole bunch in Star Atlas, but it's close. So no one is happy with the performance of the tokens. No one's happy with the performance of their ships. And no one's happy that they don't have a game to play. That might change soon. Let's wait and see. At the moment, it looks grim AF. Super grim. Now I realize this is the bear market. This is what it's supposed to feel like. When you feel like everyone's forgotten about you, no one cares about you, and everything is going to burn. I've been here before. So for me, I'm okay, right? I have good coping mechanisms, right? I'm a nurse. I see people at their worst in the hospitals most times. So for me, even though I've lost a huge percentage, like half of my entire portfolio and net worth in crypto, all wiped out, I'm okay. And that's why my content continues. I'm still going to be covering Star Atlas, guys. All the news items that come out, I'll be covering it. My portfolio, I'm still buying. I'm buying specifically Ethereum and BTC in that order. Star Atlas, I'm not sure if I'm buying. The tokens, I see not performing well over a shorter period of time here. The ships, I don't see performing well over a short period of time. Other items that might come out, we'll have to see. They can have utility with that item, possibly. But I'm being honest, guys. I'm being super honest. Remember, I'm not paid by Star Atlas. I'm an individual guy, right? I have my own life. I have hit the soft cap of what I can spend on Star Atlas. I have hit the soft cap, not the hard cap. The hard cap is if there's something else that comes out. And lastly, I should probably say I'm not suicidal. I know I sound super glum, I sound super down, but I'm actually fine. Okay, I just had breakfast with my girlfriend. I had a coffee. We sat outside. It was nice and sunny. I didn't touch grass, but I touched pavement. You know, a little bit okay. And I've lost a whole bunch of money. But at the same time, I was like, crypto is highly speculative, highly risky. You don't put what you're not. You don't put what you're not happy to lose. If you can't sleep at night, knowing that, take it out. Very easy. I try and live my life very, very, not very, very, but like strict to my rules. Because of this, I'm not suicidal. Not suicidal. Okay. You are feeling very down at the moment. I want you to reach out to people. Reach out to me even. We can talk about it. Okay. Lots of people are messaging me on Twitter and on Discord. Hey, what do you think is going to happen? Is Star Atlas okay? Should I sell all my ships? What do I do? Guys, I'm one guy. I can give you my opinions, but you got to make the decisions. Do you think Star Atlas can survive? If it can, or if it can't, is your money better spent somewhere else? Be paying off your mortgage now. You try and get another degree to work more, to work at a higher position and earn more money. Think about this stuff. So, guys, I'm going to leave it there. It's been 32 minutes. I don't care about the time now. I know I've said a whole bunch of stuff. You might be upset at me, and that's understandable. You might be upset at the team. That's understandable. You're upset at FTX. Very understandable. But I want to tell you, it's going to get worse. It's going to get a whole lot worse. There are a whole bunch of companies that hold tokens that are affected by FTX and Alameda that have to liquidate all their portfolio to stay solvent or just meet their collateral obligations. So it's very likely to get worse. Prepare yourself. That's it. Thank you.